Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome back to Die the Yoga Witch podcast. It's Di, your favorite yoga witch, and I am so glad you're sharing the space with me today. All right. We have found the 4th week of July here, and well, time to have some fun with it. We are exploring our own communities and connecting with others on this path. So, please pardon any interruptions that happen. Mr. Tookers has decided to come supervise us here. He's the baby of the family. He's only 3, part German Shepherd, part Malamute, and 100% convinced he has to have his head and his snoot up my hind end 24/7. He is mama's boy. All right, so let's talk community here, my friends. For some of us, especially those of us who have been solitary for a long time, the idea of finding a group can feel more like an intimidating mountain than a trek. Brain is resetting. So for some of us who have been solitary for a long time, the idea of going out and finding a group can definitely feel a whole lot more intimidating than any solitary trek into unknown woods. It requires a completely different kind of bravery, the courage to be seen, to be vulnerable, and to connect. Now, when I started out on my path 30 years ago, finding another witch felt like a secret, whispered mission. Now, the world is a whole lot more open, but finding the right people, your true tribe, is still a hell of an adventure. This is especially true as we approach Lammas or Lughnasadh, the beginning of August. It is the first harvest festival, a time traditionally for gathering, for celebrating the fruits of our labor, and for sharing our abundance. So, what better time to think about finding the community you can share that harvest with, both literally and spiritually. Just an FYI, Lughnasadh, the Pacific Northwest Witches Market, has their Lughnasadh Festival the first Sunday of August, which is the 3rd this year. We will be at Marina Park in Kirkland. I'll be there. Come on down and say hi if you're local, Oh, but I love this group. Like I said, it's the 3rd of August, starts at noon, opening ceremonies, and then bonfire starts at 6:30. It's family friendly, it's pet friendly, it is free, it is so much fun. I am a tarot card reader down there. We'll have some stickers, we'll have my Namaste Witchling t-shirts that you can see up there. Just come see us and have a blast. We'll be throwing the flyer up here in just a second for it. Oh, I missed it. Okay, I'm blind. All right. So come hang out with us at Lughnasadh. Now, why should we bother finding a group if we're solitary? Why? Why is this so freaking important? Well, the solitary path is a valid and powerful one, and for many, it's the right choice. That has been me most of my practice. But there is a very unique magic that happens when we come together. Think of it like this. A single candle flame is beautiful and bright. But when you bring several flames together, they create a light that can illuminate an entire room and a warmth that you can feel from across the space, right? That's what a coven, a circle, or even just a small group of witchy friends does. You amplify each other's energy, you share knowledge, and you hold space for each other's struggles and celebrate each other's triumphs. The entire time I have been a solitary practitioner, I have had other solitary witches that would come together and act as a coven when we needed that little oomph that we couldn't raise by ourselves. All right. In a world that often, oh, so often, tries to divide us, finding strength in diversity is a very radical act, especially right now. My beliefs are printed on my soul. I am who I am. I will stand by my beliefs. But Finding a community that not only accepts but celebrates these truths is a non-negotiable. It is about building a space where everyone, and I mean everyone, feels safe and valued. That is the kind of community that can truly change this world. My lips are feeling sticky, so give me a second. Okay, you are ready for your adventure. You've got your bag packed, metaphorically, of course, but where do we go from here? First, look online, but with a discerning eye, okay? Social media has groups for everything, but they are not all created equal. Look for spaces that are well moderated and have very clear rules that align with your values, especially on certain social media sites, if you know what I mean. I myself have found some wonderful connections through platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and Patreon, where you can, actually, speaking of Patreon, where you can directly support creators that you admire and join the communities they foster. This is a great way to know that you are already aligned on some core principles here. You can also join my digital coven of witchlings on my Patreon, which I'm going to throw back up again. On my Patreon, my social media pages, where you can find me as Die the Yoga Witch pretty much everywhere, and here on YouTube, which is probably where most of you are listening to this or watching. But don't forget the physical world. Your local metaphysical or witchy shop, I call them craft stores, is a treasure trove. They frequently have bulletin boards with flyers for local groups, classes, or moon circles, or maybe they even host them there at the shop themselves. Strike up a conversation with the person behind the counter. They are so frequently the magical gatekeepers of the local scene. Not necessarily gatekeeping to keeping people out, but they are the person. They know, right? My husband of almost 14 years coming October can tell you, I cannot walk into one of those shops without walking out with a new friend. Or, at least spending 45 minutes in conversation with someone. One of those new friends that I made at one of those shops, though, became a beloved mentor. The woman is just so wonderful. Also, consider looking in places that are witch adjacent. For me, yoga studios. The connection between the spiritual path of yoga and the earth-based path of witchcraft is so very deep. This is part of why I went after my 200-hour yoga certification, and I am currently working on my 300-hour. The people you meet in a yoga class are typically on a similar spiritual wavelength. And by the way, my classes, let me throw lipstick on again real quick, because I feel funny. My classes will be being put up on my YouTube and website. That's the word I'm looking for. See, brain hiccup. Very soon, if you want to check them out. And speaking of witch adjacent, another witch adjacent idea is where I found that beloved mentor. She owned a wellness boutique where she sold herbal remedies, supplements, and other witchy-ish products. She had yoga classes, and she's just, look for places where people have those interests that mesh well with the craft. Make sense? Makes sense. And then don't be afraid to be the one who starts all of it. Post a notice at the library for a witchy book club or at a local coffee shop. Start a small informal gathering for the moon. Tonight's the new moon. Or maybe even a full moon adventure in a public park. Just be mindful of the park's hours. So the adventure might just be you becoming the beacon for others who are searching. This is why I say try to be a beacon of light and hope out there for those stumbling in the darkness. I myself have found some spiritual sisters in a local Facebook group that was for local women looking to make new friends. I am always looking to make new friends. And a group of us after, kind of getting together, we discovered that we were all of the similar spiritual mindsets, and now we have fairly regular gatherings. So that was amazing to stumble into, and I'm loving that. So we're exploring, we're feeling out our local community, and with any exploration that you're doing, you need to know the signs of safe passage and the warnings of danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. So a few big red flags to watch out for: gatekeeping and elitism. Anybody who tells you that there's only one right way to be a witch is off their rocker. No go. Nope. This path is diverse. There is no one way to be a witch. Next, high demand but a lack of transparency. If a group is demanding money, or a lot of energy from you, and they are not giving you a clear explanation of where your money is going or why they want all of your free time, walk away. That is not a good place. And then bigotry of any kind. We are going to use the tolerance paradox here. Do not tolerate intolerance. So this is my hard line. One of my big hard lines. If you hear any language that is racist, transphobic, homophobic, or ableist, these are not your people. Period. Witches tend to be free of most of the isms, except the tism, because there's a bunch of us autistic witches out there. Your group has a focus on power over, not power with. Healthy groups are about empowerment. Healthy groups are about empowerment and mutual support, not about having a leader lording over the members. That's a cult. By the way, yesterday was Spoonerisms Day, and I just came up with a good Spoonerism, the empowerment. Anyway, moving on to our green flags. Our green flags that say, welcome home, friend. Inclusivity and respect. Hands down, number one thing you got to look for. If they celebrate the diversity of practice, the diversity of backgrounds, gender identity, and experiences, that's your crew. They have clear boundaries and communication. Everybody is communicational. Cheese and crackers brain. Everyone is respectful and disagreements are handled maturely. No name calling, no flying off the handle and kicking somebody out just because they looked cross-eyed. Had a few of those groups. There is a vibe of support. Hold on. You've got people who are genuinely happy for each other's successes. The energy of the group feels welcoming and warm, and just you like to be around these people, and they like to be around you. Right, good. And then finally, shared values. You want to have shared values with these people, because if there is a conflict of core values, ain't nobody going to be comfortable. So my groups, they believe the same as I do, that science is a real thing, climate change is something that is actually happening, and that all humans deserve basic human rights, and that all bodies are beautiful. I mean, it's not complicated here. But you have to remember. Remember the 5th of December? I don't remember. Anyway, remember, you are the prize. You are the product here. You are the prize. You are what they all want. And so you get to pick. You are a unique soul bringing your own light and power to this world. Do not ever feel like you have to shrink yourself or you have to compromise your values to fit in somewhere. You don't. If this group says you have to compromise on some of your core beliefs and core values, walk away, because this group over here, they're going to agree with you on well, not everything, but most things. And well, guess what, y'all? Come here, baby. He's a fuzzy butts. Mr. Fuzzy Butts is making his presence known and telling Mom that it's time to wrap up and feed the furry heathens their dinner. Because it is about that time. Otherwise, I want to say finding your people. This is an adventure so very much worth having. It takes time. It can take a lot of time. And there are going to be a few false starts here and there. But once you find them, oh my gods, that is a magic that is all its own. And it just, finding your tribe is the most amazing feeling in the world. You find the people that you click with, you gel with, and it truly is a feeling like coming home. All right, y'all. A couple of reminders. Tomorrow night, we have Friday Night Guided Meditation live here on YouTube. This is a fantabulous, wonderful, low-pressure way to feel that sense of community in a calm, sacred space. I would love to see you there. If you happen to be, again, local to the Seattle area, particularly the Snoqualmie Valley, and you want to come hang out with me in person, well, not only am I going to be at Lammas in Kirkland on the 3rd, but I do a Tuesday night and a Saturday night guided meditation in the park just down the street from my home, and a Friday night yoga class. Come on down. Come join me. I don't charge anything for it. Just come hang out. It's 6 o'clock when the park closes at 7. We can hang out, chit-chat, and just vibe. So, until next time, my witchlings, be well, be brave, and please go out and spread love, spread joy, and kindness. There is so much darkness and hate right now. Can we please be beacons of light and hope for those who need it? Let your loved ones, be they human, scaly, furry, or feathered, know that you love them beyond measure because you don't know how long you have with them. And I can tell you from experience that 2 a.m. phone call sucks balls. And then, I am grateful to the witchlings who have stuck around to the end of this. You guys are the best. Can we appease the algorithm gods and leave a comment of 7 words or more? Panic at the Disco has some inspiration. Hey, look, I made it. Yay, it works. All right, now get out there, touch some grass, and have a fantabulously wonderful, magical day filled with love and joy. And always, always, always remember that you are loved, you are wanted, you are needed. And you genuinely have a purpose here, even if you haven't figured it out yet. I love you guys to death. Namaste, witchlings. Your subscription ensures you never miss a moment of mystical insight, especially if you ring that bell. For a deeper dive into exclusive content, behind-the-scenes glimpses, bonus blog posts, monthly rituals, and my weekly yoga classes, consider popping over to Patreon and joining the coven there. If you're feeling particularly generous, a virtual coffee is always appreciated. This Gen X witch, raised on 80s vibes, thrives on caffeine and a dash of well-placed sarcasm. Are you seeking personalized guidance? Well, in that case, visit yogawithdyliden.com to schedule a one-on-one yoga session where we can work together to restore balance and alignment to your mind, body, and spirit. I'm honored to craft meaningful rituals and services for all life's milestones. House blessings, cleansings, spiritual life coaching, and personalized tarot and pendulum readings are also available. Check out those offerings at dietheyogawitch.com. Don't miss out on your daily doses of divination. Tune in tomorrow for another episode, Monday through Saturday, same bet time, same bet channel, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And there's even more enchantment to weave into your week. Join me for our weekly rituals. Sundays, let's all gather around the cauldron for coffee and cues with Di the Yoga Witch at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. Bring your favorite brew and we'll delve into the mystical and the everyday, answering your questions and sharing the witchy wisdom I've gathered over the last 3 decades. Thursdays, tune into Di the Yoga Witch podcast for a fusion of yoga and witchcraft designed to inspire and uplift. Friday and Saturday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Seattle time, we offer some unique experiences. Fridays are for relaxation and interconnection. We zen our way into the weekend and unwind with guided meditation or yoga nidra asana, tapping into your inner magic and bringing that magical life into your yoga practice. Saturday evenings, brace yourself for Bitch and Witch Angry Veteran Rants. I will be tackling current events that spark my passionate opinions, offering perspectives and suggestions for positive change.